Today we're going to be covering how to add your Paramount NVR to an account in the application. Now, the first video you might have seen would be the non-account method. That version of adding it to your Paramount app is going to be the simplest way to add it to your app. It's just scan and go. Whereas this method it has a lot of benefit. So if you upgrade your phone or you get a new phone or you have a tablet and a phone, if you register an account and you add the NVR to that account, you can just log into that account and be able to see all your devices. You'll also be able to access your devices from a web portal, um, which is releasing the new Paramount web portal, which we're really excited about. So I'm going to cover all that in this video. So very first thing is you're going to want to log into your recorder. I'm showing you logging into the recorder from the web portal. Um, However, if you are following along from your local monitor display, you're going to notice here at the top, I have my live display, playback, search and backup, intelligent analytics, and function panel. On the local monitor display, you'll have a circle of 4 squares in the bottom left-hand corner. That's your start button. You'll see an option that says settings. For me, it says function panel up here at the top. But if you click on settings on the local monitor, this is exactly what will pop up on your screen. You go ahead and click on that. The very first thing you want to click on is network. Okay. Now for me, the NAT is in the top left. If you're following along on the local monitor display, NAT for you is going to be over here in the top middle. One of the first things you want to do though is just double check your IP settings. So for 90% of people, what you're going to want to have here for your basic setup is going to want to make sure this is checked for obtain an IP address automatically under your Ethernet port 1. Obtain DNS automatically, you're going to want to leave that without a check mark. And you're going to want to fill in these numbers. For your preferred DNS, 8.8.8.8. And your alternate DNS, go ahead and put in 8.8.4.4. IPv6, you can just leave that off if you wanted to. And then go ahead and hit apply. Okay, so that's going to be for most people that you're going to want these settings exactly set up just like this if you're utilizing this method. Okay, once you have those settings set, go ahead and click on NAT. And again, for me, it's in the top left on the web browser. If you're following along from the local monitor display, it'll be right here on like this top middle bar. It'll say NAT for you. Click on that. That's where you're going to find your QR code. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that this is enabled. So check the box to make sure it's enabled. If you have a success message here, you're good to go. It's going to work on your phone app. It's going to work on your PC software, wherever you're trying to access the recorder from. So you do want to make sure you have a success message here. If you have a failed message here, go back to the previous settings under TCP/IP and just double check those settings, make sure they did save and are in there exactly as we said, and then come back to NAT. And you should see a success message. You can give this about 20 seconds or so. It should kick in and give you a success message. If for some reason it doesn't, even after all of that, I would recommend power cycling your router, power cycling your recorder, and give it about 10 to 15 minutes to come up. You should get a success message here in most environments. Okay. You may be in an environment where there's a firewall or something stopping the connection from the server. If that's the case, maybe get with your IT team and just see what needs to be done on that side of things. But for most people, you should get a success message here after those settings are set just like this. And then the next thing that you're going to want to do is this is your QR code number. So if you're adding it manually, note this down. But this is going to be what you would use in the application, this QR code here. And that's what you're going to scan in the app. Now, another thing to mention is the security code. If you are trying to bind it to your account, and what I mean by binding it to your account means that you would then be the master account. And the only way for somebody to get it on their phone would, once you bind it, utilizing this security code, you would then need to share it any subsequent user. Okay, so that's if you're binding it. Now, there's another way to add it to your account without binding it, and utilizing the username and password, which I'm going to cover here as well. Okay, so you'll only need the security code if you're trying to bind it and you're trying to be the master account and make it so that the only way somebody else can get it on their phone is by registering an account, and then you as the master share it to that subsequent account. Okay, it sounds a little confusing, but this is going to be for people that are comfortable using this method in business environments or commercial environments. Most if you're in a residential environment, you're going to want to add it utilizing the username and password, which I'm going to cover in this video as well. So if you're adding with the username and password, all you need is this QR code. If you are adding it via a uh, while trying to bind it to an account, you're going to need the security code as well. Okay, so just hit this eyeball icon. It's going to ask you for the username and the password to the recorder. Put that in, and it's going to go ahead and display your security code. Okay, so you will need code if you are trying to bind it to your account. If you're just trying to add it to your account utilizing your username and password, um, then you do not need this security code. So I'm going to cover both. Okay, so you have this QR code here. And the very next thing that you're going to want to do is go ahead and pull up your Paramount app. So I already have my Paramount app here opened up. If it's the first time you've opened up your Paramount app, you're going to have to go to, uh, there's going to be a couple things that pop up. Just go ahead and hit skip. Uh, there will be a start and local option. Go ahead and hit stop. And just make sure you allow everything, all the things that it asks you to allow in the app, and allow it so that way you don't have any issues communicating between your recorder and the application. And once you have that done, you should get a screen that says live and it'll be black, especially if it's the first time that you opened up the app. Now, I've opened up my app before. I've added devices before in my applications. That's why I have a camera listed here. But typically what you'll see is it'll just be a black screen with live. And go ahead and hit your menu in the top left corner. And as you can see at the very top, it says not logged in. So the first thing you're going to want to do when using the account method is register an account. I'm going to go here to the not logged in section. And you're going to go ahead and hit the register icon here in the bottom left. Okay, it's a little blue icon, register. Agree to the privacy statement, and then go ahead and fill in your email address and create a password for your account. Okay. The other thing is if you don't want to use your email address and you want to register your account with your phone number, you can do that by hitting the phone icon here in the bottom right. Okay. And then this will put in where you put in your phone number and enter in your password for your account. You're going to get a verification code sent to either your email or texted to you if you do the phone number method. Go ahead and put in that verification code and then go ahead and log into your account. You'll log into your account and then you're going to go ahead and open up your menu for your account. You're going to go to your device list. Okay. So after going to your device list, you're going to go ahead and hit the three dots in the top right corner and you're going to click on add device. You're going to go ahead and scan your QR code. Okay. After scanning your QR code, it's going to fill in your QR code here at the top. You can go ahead and put in your device name. Okay, so your device name is purely cosmetic. You can name this cameras, home, office, whatever you want to name it. Purely cosmetic. The next section here, it's going to be asking you for your security code. Now, if you add in the security code like we defined earlier, then that is going to be binding it to your account. Okay, that means nobody else is going to be able to scan that QR code and add it to their phone app. Okay, the only way somebody would be able to view your cameras would be if they register an account on the app and you share it to them. Okay, now if you're trying to add it to your phone app or your account with your username and password, which this is great. This is great to do because, again, like I said earlier in this video, if you're going to want to be able to, you change your phone, you lose your phone, you get a new phone, um, and you reinstall the app, all you have to do is log into your account on your Paramount app and your cameras will still be there. And you don't have to worry about scanning the device again. So to do it that way would be in the bottom right-hand corner here, you see where it says username and password add. This is going to be adding it to your account, but not binding it to your account. Okay, so that means other people can come over here and scan it and add it to their account, and so on. Okay, but if you're using the other method to bind it, that means it's bound to that account. Nobody can come here and scan it. Okay, but this is the most common way to do it. Username and password. You put in your username to the recorder, and then your password. Username and password are both going to be case sensitive, so go ahead and make sure you put in that information correctly. I'm going to go ahead and add it in, and then hit save. Okay, and as you can see, now my device has gone online. It turns green, and I can hit the play button icon to go ahead and view my cameras. Okay, now if you did it with an account, okay, and you bound it, okay, like I have one down here. you're going to notice a different icon. You see this little sharing icon next to the device name too. I have my paper and pencil icon, my play button, my trash can, my gear, and then there's like the little 3 dots connecting. That means it's bound to my account. And if I hit that 3 dot icon, I can now choose to share the device. Okay. And I can put in the email address or phone number of somebody that I want to share it to. And I can choose the functions that they're going to have once I share it. So here I'm going to put in an email. I go ahead and choose. I can choose which cameras I'm giving them access to. From here, I'm going to give them access to everything. And then I can choose what functions they're going to have access to in here as well. So I can choose if they're going to have access to playback in a specific camera or access to the alarm settings, or audio if your camera has built-in audio. That's the talkback option, or PTZ options if it's a PTZ. So I can choose what the person that I'm sharing it to is going to have access to on a per camera basis. This is why it's really great for a commercial setup to utilize this method. However, if you are just in a residential environment, the easiest way to do it would be to register the account and then just add with the username and password. If you're like a husband and wife, you can both log into the same account at the same time. You don't have to create separate accounts if you don't want to. So lots of different ways that you can utilize that uh, username and password method. Okay, and then if you ever want to remove a share from somebody, you just hit the 3 dots in the top right, and you can go to sharing management. Either the devices, it'll have the device name that I have and who I shared it to. As you can see, I just shared it to Travis. So if I wanted to, I can just swipe to the left and cancel my share. And now he will no longer have the cameras on his phone if I do it with the bound method. Okay. So that's the 2 different ways that you can add a device utilizing an account. So I highly encourage you to check out the next video, which is going to be covering the web portal, the Paramount web portal. With the Paramount web portal, this gives you the ability to log into your account from a web address and have access to all your recorders that way. Check out that video.